Well, hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking about the PS4 finally. I thought we would talk doing this vlog a lot later. It's pretty cool of Sony to do it now. I was hoping the other consoles would get the 2013 release, because uh, the last gens were going on a little longer than they usually do. Generations, good 6 years, going on 7, and yeah, well, the show is pretty good. I think the PS4 is really cool. It looks good. The one thing that upsetted me though is they showed the controller, but they didn't show the actual console itself, and I would have liked that. I would have liked to see more of what they wanted to do with the touchpad they added onto the DualShock 4 controller, and I like the idea of they have uh, these cameras on the sides of controllers for pinpoint accuracy where you're pointing so it knows the movement of your controller. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I'd like to see what they would do with that. Um, what I'm interested in though is the share button. It looks pretty cool. Well, basically, with the share button is you can make screenshots of the games and put on your social networking sites, or you can like watch someone, a friend who's playing, watch their live gameplay, or you can record like 15 minutes of gameplay, which is really nice. I mean, I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot of PlayStation All-Star videos now coming up because of that. And if you're having trouble with the game, you can take your game, bring it over to a friend, and they can do it for you right where you left off. I mean, that's a creative idea. I'm glad PlayStation did something like that because the last thing I wanted the PS4 to be was a PS3, only more powerful, you know? It's like you can't do that anymore because when it came to going from Super Nintendo to N64 was the the enhancement of the power made a new format for gaming, 3D models, 3D worlds, and then when you went to the GameCube, for N64 to GameCube, and PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 and Xbox, it enhanced further by adding things like now it's like now there's more pinpoint accuracy where you're moving. You can climb a little better. Physics are improved. And then when you went on to the next gen, it just was in HD, or in Nintendo's case, added motion control. And Nintendo stuck to standard definition because they felt that no one had a HD TV then, and there's no point of making HD. I think that was a mistake because you got to think about the future here, and they did with the Wii U, which is good. And I'm glad PS4 is thinking about the future too, because they do need to do something new. If you're going to buy a new generation console, you want something new to the games. You want a defining principle. I've said it before. Every other generation, like let's take the NES and the PlayStation 1. When you go to the next generation, that's a perfection of the last. Super Nintendo perfected NES, GameCube perfected N64, PS2 perfected PS1, and basically right now where we are with the PS4 and the Wii U and the 720 is that should be something new, something that starts and something for the next generation to perfect on. And the Wii U is definitely a perfection of the Wii. So hopefully, it's kind of confusing actually, because will the PS4 start something new? Like, because PS3 was a perfection of the PS2, kind of goes out of whack really when you think about it. But overall, PS4 looks pretty cool. I'm looking for. I wanted to see. I guess I'll have to wait for E3, but there's a few things they didn't mention that they were very careful not to, like the thing with the used. You can't play used games, and like if you want to rent a game, you can't. That they didn't talk much about pricing, though I have seen rumors around 500, which is fair. I mean, when the PS3 was out, that was 500, so they could have had every right to make it more expensive, but they didn't, you know. So I think that's very good. I think that was a good move. So yeah, PS4, it looks cool. I want to see what they can do with it. Hopefully, there's more first-party support this time around. Um, PS3 just did a lot of HD remakes, which is fine. You know, I understand why they do it. But I would have liked to see more franchises being updated. Um, they had a lot of third party. Their PS3 is very strong on third party, but that was the problem with what I had with it. It's like if I had to choose between a PS3 and a 360, if I ever did, I would choose a PS3 because at least with the PS3, there's a few more exclusives, but there's not many exclusives. It's like you're paying for the same library basically with 360 and the PS3, but not anymore, which I like, which is good. Um, the new controller, I want to see what they'll do with it. I think with the touchpad on the DualShock 4, it gives it'll give a lot more third-party support for games that are designed for the Wii U. Like you can port that over to the PS4, so we'll probably see a lot of games for Wii U and PS4 because of the touchpad. Also, they did something with the Vita, which will give Vita some use, which is good. You gotta give Vita use. It's starting to die out, which is bad. PlayStation does. They should have a good handheld. I think. I'm surprised Xbox hasn't tried anything with handhelds yet. But yeah, the Vita. Basically, you can play any PS4 game on the Vita, and the PS4 will act as a router for it. And I think that's a cool idea. And I have heard rumors that Nintendo are making a cartridge to put in the 3DS that'll be basically make the 3DS a its own gamepad. But I feel like this is a good step up for PlayStation using the Vita as a way to play your PS4 games. As long as you have local Wi-Fi, you can connect to your Vita to your PS4, and it'll play the games on it for you, or the digital downloads at least. Um, there has been confirmed that there is no backwards compatibility, but it's like I said with the GameCube and the Wii U, you got to move on. It's like um, they said that one day, hopefully, they want to get all the library of PS1, 2, and 3 games on PS4, which is good. But a lot of people aren't really like that because they don't know if they can get their memory transferred. It was also confirmed, by the way, the PS3 can't transfer data from the PS3 to PS4, but I'm sure they'll work on it. That's why they didn't mention these things because they'll work on it. Overall, looks cool. I like it. I want to see what they'll do with it. I want to see what Sony's gonna do in the future because that was the one thing I was worried about the PS4. They can't get away with like I respected their traditionalism and I respected their don't fix what's not broken mentality, but they have to move on eventually. They have to do something new because when you the upping the power only makes the games look better. Eventually, people are gonna get bored with that. Yeah, it's like it's like when you it's like when you have a game and you make a sequel to it, and it's not like it's gonna be a bad game. It's just like this will feel so last gen. You know what I mean? Like there's a few games I played on the Wii that I felt were terrible because they pretty much were a GameCube game. I mean, I gave the launch games a benefit of doubt, but like I mean later in the years, they pretty much was a GameCube game, and their PS3 games are pretty much PS2 games. Xbox 360 games are pretty much Xbox games. You know, you gotta do something new. You know, I mean, yeah, there's not. I mean, like every other generation, yes, you perfect it, but still, there has to be something you're adding to the gameplay. There has to be something that defines the generation, and the PS4 will do that. I can see it. Like the Wii U's, and I wonder what Microsoft's gonna have up their sleeve. I've been hearing that they're gonna use the smart glass technology, but that's another vlog for another time. It's about PS4. So yeah, PS4, thumbs up. We'll see what's going on with that in E3, I believe. So I'll see you.